Hello, I'm Carol Martin. Welcome back to apostrophes, commas, everything. Sentences. In this video, we look at what happens in between the capital letter beginning a sentence and the full stop, question mark, or exclamation mark which ends it. There are 4 types of sentence. A sentence could be a statement, for example, hens lay eggs. It could be a question, for example, can you see that sign? It could be a command, for example, come here. Or an exclamation, for example, look. What makes a sentence? One verb at least makes a sentence. As you saw in my examples on the previous page, a sentence can be one word, as long as it's a verb, 2 words, 3 words, or more. In conversation, of course, we talk in single words all the time. It's a lot more efficient than talking in complete sentences. This video is all about written sentences. Not social media comments, which often aren't sentences, again for the sake of efficiency, but sentences which are formal. If you are composing prose or text for letter writing, for example, or story writing, your sentences would need to be well constructed. So let's have a closer look at that. A sentence is words put together to express a thought or thoughts. Each separate thought in a sentence is expressed as a clause, or part of a sentence. Each clause must have at least one verb. If there is only one main clause, it is called a simple sentence. Rabbits eat grass. Can't get any more simple than that. Here we have a subject, a verb, and an object. Rabbits is the subject, eat is the verb, and grass is the object. There doesn't always have to be an object for the verb. We could have just had rabbits eat, and that would have been a sentence. We couldn't just have rabbits, because that's just a single word. A sentence has got to express meaning. Sometimes a sentence has 2 or more main clauses. These are called compound sentences. Both thoughts have equal importance. The clauses are usually joined by and, but, or yet. These joining words are called conjunctions. And I've given 3 examples here using those 3 conjunctions. Rabbits eat grass and they also like carrots. Guinea pigs eat grass, but they don't eat ham sandwiches. Cows eat grass, yet they shouldn't eat clover. A complex sentence has a main clause and a dependent clause. The main clause carries the main thought, while the dependent clause adds detail. Here are some conjunctions which often begin a dependent clause: because, while, before, after, since, as, when, where. And here are 4 examples of complex sentences. Since I was little, I've liked to fly kites. I could have put, I've liked to fly kites since I was little. Since I was little is the dependent clause, and since is the conjunction. My uncle has moved to the country where he has bought a farm. Where is the conjunction beginning the dependent clause where he has bought a farm. My brother stays up later than I do because he is older. Because he is older is the dependent clause, and because the conjunction. Mum, after we've had dinner, can you help me with my homework? After we've had dinner is the dependent clause, beginning with the conjunction after. Here's an activity for you to do to test your understanding of clauses so far. Well, let's see how you went. The first one, it's been a hard day's night and I've been working like a dog. That sounds familiar. Well, this is a compound sentence. The two clauses are, it's been a hard day's night, I've been working like a dog, and they're joined by the conjunction and. They both have equal importance, those clauses. Number 2, I like swimming, is just a simple sentence, one clause. Number 3, I always brush my teeth before I go to bed. That's a complex sentence. The main clause is I always brush my teeth, and the dependent clause, before I go to bed, starts with the conjunction before. Number 4, my brother plays basketball, but he doesn't play cricket. That's a compound sentence with the two clauses. My brother plays basketball, he doesn't play cricket, and they're joined by the conjunction but. Number 5, seahorses are beautiful creatures with curled tails. Well, that's just a simple sentence with one main clause. I wonder if you were thinking maybe with curled tails is a clause, but as you can see, it hasn't got a verb. With curled tails, it's just a descriptive phrase. And number 6, when I grow up, I will be tall enough to reach that branch. That's a complex sentence. The main clause, I will be tall enough to reach that branch, and when I grow up is the dependent clause starting with the conjunction when. And they could have been around the other way, those two clauses. It could have been, I will be tall enough to reach that branch when I grow up. Adding a conjunction, join the clauses in these compound and complex sentences so that the sentence makes sense. Wonder how you went with these. The first one is a complex sentence. The dependent clause starting with when is when I get home from school, and it's not a standalone clause. It obviously needs Daddy's taking me to the dentist to make sense. The second one is a compound sentence with the two clauses linked with the conjunction and. The third one is a complex sentence with because added as the conjunction. Because rips can be hard to spot, you have to be careful in the surf. The fourth is another complex sentence with before we sit down for dinner being the dependent clause, and I always have to wash my hands, the main one. Number 5 is a compound sentence with the two clauses. Rabbits are cute, they cause destruction in the wild, joined by but. And the last one, the two clauses come here, look at this, joined by and. So that's a compound sentence as well. Here's a piece of writing which is poorly constructed. You'll notice the writer has just strung thoughts together and joined them using commas. It's a dog's breakfast. Try to improve it by organising the thoughts into sentences with good clauses, a variety of beginnings, and a mix of short and long sentences. Here's how I've improved this short narrative. Yours may be different, but I hope you've come up with a piece of writing which flows and is easy for the reader or listener to make sense of. Every summer, I go to the coast with my family. We stay in a caravan park. We swim, look for shells, and sometimes we play beach cricket. One day I was walking along the beach when I found a tiny sea creature which is called a blue dragon or nudibranch. How do I know that? My brother told me. He knows a lot about sea animals because he reads a lot. My favourite thing is to eat fish and chips on the beach at sunset and watch the sky turn pink, telling us it will be a fine day tomorrow. Right, well, here are 5 writing tips to help you write well. Use a mix of simple, compound, and complex sentences. Use a range of conjunctions to join clauses together. Vary sentence lengths. Vary sentence beginnings. Throw in a question or an exclamation. Settle into the task and enjoy writing. Thank you for watching my presentation. Here are links to 2 of my other apostrophes, commas, everything videos.